I couldn't be more proud of her than I am today. She's a beautiful young woman, and she met Justin quite a few years ago, and it's just such a beautiful thing to marry your best friend, and I've never seen her happier. And as a brother, I think all you want in this world is for somebody to be there to love, honor, respect, and take care of your little sister, and I couldn't pick a better man for it. I don't have a brother, but I do now, and I love you so much, and welcome to my family, and I'm so happy to be part of your family. And Megan, I've never been happy for you, and I've never seen you this happy. Thank you, have a beautiful day, and cheers to you both, I'm so nervous for you. Half the reason this tux is falling off me right now, so my pants are about to fall down, so I can go back. Come on, give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Great job, baby. And now please give a warm welcome to our matron of honor, Jen Schechter. Please come on up, Jen.
Okay. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jenny, Megan's cousin and matron of honor. And Megan, I'm so honored to be by your side on the best day of your life. Growing up, there were 7 of us cousins, and we're the only girls, so obviously we had to stick together. Obviously, I mean, you know the cousins and...
Sorry about that.
Yeah. If you were apologies, I was one. Anybody else? She's a little sister I always wanted. Not only have we fought like sisters, but more importantly, we have loved like that. We have been together through some of the hardest times of our lives, and we are grateful to have been together for the best times. Finally, I would like to say that marriage is an opportunity for 2 families to come together and honor what they each have. Welcome to the family, Justin. You raise your glasses for Mr. and Mrs. LaLoja. May the roads rise to meet you. May the winds be always at your backs. May the sun shine warm upon your faces. And may the rains fall softly upon your fields. Seriously? No, this is a traditional Irish blessing. Thank you. And until we meet again, may God hold you softly in the common faith.
Megan said sit down. All right, take a good look. 1994, Western Hills, junior high school yearbook. She almost caught it today. I had to throw my bag over it. Okay, some quotes. Daddy Paul, page 15. I love Dan, ha ha, page 33. He was my first boyfriend. AJ putting on the moves. That was Megan's huge middle school crush. She notated my yearbook and not hers because I was a year ahead of her. So, putting putting on the moves. He happened to be on top of another boy in a wrestling photo. He was on a wrestling team. There's also a giant heart around his face that you guys can peruse later. If you like, I'll leave it over there by the back table. Hairy armpits, page 69. Daddy Paul again, labeled, and another heart over AJ's face. So, as you can see, the search for the right guy has been happening for at least 2 decades now. And to be honest, the conversations and annotation are pretty similar to what she wrote 20 years ago. Not much has changed. So my name is Laura, and I grew up with Megan. But before Megan and I had the pleasure of meeting, I knew Danny because Danny and my brother were best friends. And I knew he had a younger sister, but, you know, after the shenanigans those two went through, I didn't think I needed to know another teenage McShane. So it was never on my list to like seek out a friend in Megan, Danny's little sister. That being said, our moms planned it for us. They thought it would be a good idea. So, she knows it's coming, don't worry, I'm gonna gloss over it. Anyway, so, you know, one morning I was heading to the beach with my mom, and I don't know if I dropped my brother off or something at the McShane household. And, you know, Mrs. McShane said, I'll be right back. And out, you know, Sandy is always smiling and happy, and out behind her comes this like adorable little girl, Gap jeans, tan and navy blue t-shirt. I don't know why I remember these details, but I do. And she walked over and we kind of like waved to each other and said hello. And Megan like proceeded to giggle the entire time that we talked for 5 minutes. She was like, like giggled and nodded her head. So we drove away and I just remember thinking, that was so awkward. She's kind of weird and do I really have to like invite her to the beach next time we go? So, that being said, we did end up that summer spending the entire summer together. And that giggling was pretty contagious because we giggled our way through the entire summer. And most of our giggles came from like her dad, Coach Mike, who used to like constantly embarrass us if we were in public. I mean, it was nonstop. We were at a Red Sox game one afternoon, and there was a guy, he was probably in 7th grade. Hey, Laura's comes from Johnston too. What do you think of her? She's to my left. And so Megan loved it because it took the heat off of her for a little while if I was around. Anyway, I remember that as clear as day. She had another interesting thing. She had these pair of shoes on that were entirely new to me. And anyway, but she introduced these shoes to me. So for the Cape Codders in the crowd, this might be a shock to you, they were penny loafers. Weejunes to be precise. Weejunes and both shoes were new to me as a Guido from Cranston. I didn't know anything about penny loafers, but it was interesting to me. Put the penny in and what? Weejunes. See, I can't even say it right. I'm 35 now. I still don't know the right word. Anyway, so by the end of the summer, Megan had donated her shoes to me. I learned to love them. And there was another interesting thing I learned by the end of the summer. And again, like you guys would say that Megan has inherited the Irish pride in the family, right? Would you agree? She comes from a proud Irish family, yes? Yeah. We've heard several stories, Irish exits after a long night, family secrets that are still not talked about, Catholic guilt, it goes on and on. However, she felt safe in my company and she confessed that she really secretly always kind of wanted to be Italian. Perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. I know, this is perfect. So my family adopted her quickly, and they loved her more than they loved myself or my older brother, who was getting into a lot of trouble with Danny at the same time. She had another dirty little secret. She even had a name picked out. She wanted to be Gina. So, sorry, this is all a fact. Okay, she's shaking her head. Yes, I'm not making this up. So this brings me to Megan's amazing quality number one. I wish I could find a more eloquent way to say it, but just like giggling. Giggling and facing the world with laughter and positivity, which kind of echoes Coach Mike's talk about her attitude. That's point number one. So, yeah, we have a lot of stories about that. I'm going to skip some. I'm already going over. All right. So, quality number two is Megan Ann's brutal honesty. How many of you have experienced this? Thank you. And to be honest, Danny's called me more than once in tears, a little worked up about Megan had said to him. So a few years ago, you know, we were hanging out on South Beach, talking like what girls always talk about, health, fitness, et cetera, casually, and I love coffee talks. So she would sit on the beach with me for like and indulge me in a 3-hour coffee talk just because I love them. And she said, you know, last year you came and, you know, I think that was the skinniest I've ever seen you, like the closest you've ever gotten to skinny. It's the closest you've ever gotten to skinny. Thank you. I was befuddled because if you had told me that a year ago, I would have held on to it a little tighter maybe. But like a year later, I had enough time to let myself go. But that being said, this brutal honesty is so important in a friend because we're like over sugar-coated. And people want to fluff things in easy ways. But Megan Ann, if I want the truth about anything, it's just a quick response right away. She knows it. It's like boom, boom, boom. She gives it to you straight. And I think that's a hard quality to find in a friend. And not easy for everyone to do. She's got it down. Okay.
Don't answer.
Would you like to add something?
I love it.
Okay. So, my over talking I can edit. Cousin Joey already told me 3.5 minutes. You're out. We're gonna give you the link. Okay. So, Meg's amazing quality number 3 is her spontaneity and risk-taking. So a few years ago, we happened to be in Europe at the same time. I was in Italy, she was like bopping around the Greek islands, so like, great, meet you in Rome. Our big plan was this, see you Sunday in Rome. That was our plan, I'll see you Sunday in Rome. Okay, so I showed up and thinking, what do you want to do? You want to do the Vatican, the Colosseum, there are a couple great museums. She's like, I don't know, whatever you want to do, and just like giggled her way through. We made our way to the Colosseum after a few Aperol spritzes, and there was no need to enter the Colosseum because when we got there, Megan was like, take a few pictures. She whipped off a red scarf and started mimicking like the El Torero, like the bullfighter in Rome. Quickly, the tourists turned their attention to us. The Colosseum became just a background. Megan was the focus, and it was great. But that's the spontaneity and risk-taking. Don't worry, I'm getting too soon, Justin. Okay. Quick story. We decided off the cuff. What? Get too nice. Okay. So we decided to head to Paris. We're going to take the overnight train in Paris. Barely make it. We're running there. We get on the train. We start, like, the giggling happens again, but now it's giggling in the face of, like, adversity. It's nervousness. Why does our train look like a retired subway train from New York City from 1950, right? So we're giggling. We realize our train ticket is like, this is where we are. Just get in and making the announcements. Everyone needs to be in their cabin. But like, we look in our cabin. Oh my God, there are like 3 guys in there. An Indian, we don't know who he is, and he kind of looks like a white guy, but we're not sure. So we're just like giggling in the hallway. She's, Laura, let's go. So, all right, this goes against her risk-taking and bravery, but she kind of was like shoving me in the room. Needless to say, we giggled our way through that experience, and as it turned out, one of them spoke English because he just turned and said to us, I want whatever you guys are on. Give me some. So, since then, we've dubbed that trip the Freedom Train because after we found our way out of that cabin, one of the girls got booted at the Swiss border, so we call it the Freedom Train because we survived. All right, Justin, your turn. 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I was correcting papers, I was teaching English, I was correcting papers at a Starbucks where we grew up in Cranston, Rhode Island, and I get this phone call from Megan. Oh my God, Laura, I met this guy, I'm in love with him. Really? Tell me all about him. Well, we've gone out twice. His name is Justin. He's got this adorable little boy named Tommy, and he's the guy I'm gonna marry. That's great, Megan. What's his last name? I'm not really sure, I just know he's Italian. Good news. So I hounded her for a month, we got the name down, and from then on I just kept calling him La Loggia. I think I only learned his name like a week ago, to be honest, because for a decade now I've just been referring to him as that, La Loggia. And that being said, it's been a long 10 years. And there was a period, it hasn't always been us. We've driven by Jerry's Deli more than once with a double flick off, let's drive through the middle. Where's Dago and Chris, you guys in the crowd? I came in once to apply for a job. I was really just looking for him. I needed to check him out, size him up. Anyway, he made his way around. That being said, here's my advice to you, because you're supposed to give advice. Megan Ann, you just need to keep being who you are, because you're clearly doing things correctly. Okay? Keep living with your spontaneity, keep glowing, keep channeling, like you already do the best things from Sandra D, your yoga practice, your spirituality, and from Coach Mike, your determination, your tenacity, and other positive influences in your life, Sean, and other loved ones who you channel. Be as fearless as you were the night you decided to pack up and move it to Florida and start your new life with Justin. Keep that as your compass, follow your heart. Keep giggling, trust yourself, and follow your code, which I stole from her wall. I was there this week. The purpose of my life is to be a pure reflection of God's love, enjoy my family and friends, and do fun things for myself and others. And for Lulu, here's my advice to you. Feel free to call Danny or me anytime that brutal honesty gets too tough. We've been handling it for at least 2 decades. We're going on 3. We're experts. And I am so happy for the 2 of you. I adore both of you. Thank you for making me feel like I've known you forever and still let me, hang around with you guys and just act like we were in 7th grade again. That being said, the last toast, we've got to honor her like Italian love, and we'll say, hold up your glasses. We'll say, per 100 anni, which means for 100 years for the 2 of you.